Welcome again to my channel. Today we shall be looking at Writing Effective Plan of Investigation, POI, and Reflections 1 and 2 for your English school-based assessment. I trust that you'll find this presentation informative, engaging, and enlightening. God bless you. Students should be able to 1. State the components of the plan of investigation, 2. Read sample of a given POI and identify the different components or features, 3. List the features of the reflections 1 and 2. And last but definitely by no means least, read given samples of reflections 1 and 2, noting the do's and don'ts of writing these reflections. Investigation. The plan of investigation, like all writings, should be written in a clear, concise, and coherent manner. The plan of investigation should contain the following: your group's topic, your subtopic, your reason or reasons for choosing the subtopic, your 3 sources, and of course, the English skills that you will employ or utilize in analyzing these sources. At a sample plan of investigation. My group and I have chosen to explore the issue of the marginalization of women in the Caribbean for my school-based assessment. However, I will be focusing my attention on the adverse effects of female marginalization within the Caribbean region. I have chosen to explore this important topic because I want to be an advocate for women's rights. Therefore, a knowledge of the negative effects will significantly impact my advocacy. Conducting this research will be very rewarding to me as an English student. Not only will I be exposed to new terms or terminologies, which will expand my vocabulary, but I will also be allowed to analyze different sources, which will improve my analytical and writing skills. I will be using a variety of sources in the exploration of this topic. One source is an article from the Jamaican Sunday Gleaner entitled "Push for Greater Equality," published Sunday, September 30th, 2012. This article can be retrieved by visiting the following link: www.jamaicagleaner.com, Gleaner 2012 0930 focus. I will also be using pictures from the internet and a poem entitled "Still I Rise" by the great poet Maya Angelou. These sources will be analyzed using a plethora of English skills such as the interpretive skill, analytical, comprehensive, and writing skills. I will be also utilizing interpersonal skills as I will be interacting with my group members on some aspect of this SBA. Analyze the sample POI given. You would have observed that the first sentence contains the group's topic. The group's topic here is the marginalization of women in the Caribbean region for the marginalization of women in the Caribbean region. You would have also observed that the second sentence contains the writer's subtopic, and the writer's subtopic is the adverse effects of female marginalization within the Caribbean region. And of course, the third sentence contains the reason the writer has chosen this subtopic. The benefits that the writer will derive when he or she conducts this research as an English student. The third paragraph examines or states the sources or artifacts or materials that the writer will utilize in conducting this research. And of course, the writer concluded by stating the English skills that he or she will utilize in examining these sources. At writing reflection 1. In writing the reflection 1, you will be required to examine closely your sources. You are expected to 1. Briefly comment on how each source has impacted your thoughts or thinking about the subject matter of your SBA. Focus on your subtopic and not the group's topic here. Provide a brief outline of the content of the sources. Provide note a synopsis. Do not be verbose. Do not give too much information. 3. State in your own words how the sources made you feel. Use emotive language. And by that we mean words that appeals to the emotion. And number 4, state whether or not the knowledge gained will affect your future action. Remember to comment on each source in a separate paragraph. It is sample first paragraph of reflection 1. The Gleaner article, Push for Greater Equality, published on Sunday, October 30th, 2012, has made me more cognizant of the marginalization of women in the Jamaican society. The writer's use of empirical data such as women comprises 46% of the labor force, yet are concentrated in the lowest paying sectors of the economy, and the unemployment rate for women stands at 16.8% and 9.5% for men, has not only contributed to my outrage, but has now alighted a flame inside me to make a change or difference. I consider it to be very shameful, indeed, that even in this era of great advancement, that women are still being treated as inferior and are still marginalized. You've mastered reflection 1. Let us now look at how to write reflection 2. In writing your reflection 2, you are required to pay close attention to the utilization of language in each source. You must comment on the following. 1. The use of language in each source. What type of language is used in each source? By that we mean, does the writer or contributor use emotive language? Does he or she use descriptive language, or persuasive language, or narrative language? Secondly, does the language used in each piece help to bring across the writer's message or purpose? Thirdly, does the language used enhance or advance the writer's intention? Now remember that the writer always has an intention. It's either to persuade, dissuade, convince, inform, to criticize, okay, to point out, to highlight, to inform. All right? So the writer always has an intention. With that said, let us now look at a sample reflection 2. Reflection 2. In the Gleaner article entitled Push for Greater Equality, the writer uses a variety of techniques and languages to highlight his or her dissatisfaction with the unfair treatment of women in the Jamaican society. He uses not only emotive language such as shameful and wasteful, in reference to the exclusion of women in leading roles, but he also points out to the adverse effects that such an exclusion has had on the economy. His use of astonishing figures and references such as despite universal adult suffrage in 1944, women today account for only 13.3% of the members of parliament (MPs), 20% of the cabinet ministers, 24% of senators, 17% of local government councillors, and 30.7% of mayors, has made his article more valid and credible. Hence, the reader is more inclined to believe his declaration. I trust that you have found these samples useful and you will utilize them in writing. Utilize them, use them as a guide to write your reflections 1 and 2 for your SBA. God bless you.